So let's get into it. Let's first read. We're gonna first listen to the video. It's only about 3 minutes, and then we'll discuss it. So welcome Raiders. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great night. All the love.
Suicide Squad may have killed the Justice League, but their sales figures missed the mark. Helldivers 2 latest patch raises the server cap so more players can spread democracy this weekend, and PlayStation VR 2 may soon be compatible.
Wait, are they gonna? I thought they were just talking about the Suicide Squad. So we'll at least check out the Suicide Squad stuff.
Let's get into it. Suicide
I like
Squad
that little
the
trumpet.
Justice League was a disappointment for critics and players alike when it launched 3 weeks ago.
Give me some numbers,
According
baby.
to a recent WB Discovery financial call, its sales were equally underwhelming for the company. Chief Financial Officer Gunnar Wiedenfels admitted, quote, "This year, Suicide Squad, one of our key video game releases in 2024, has fallen short of our expectations since its release earlier in the quarter, setting our games business up for a tough year-over-year comp in Q1.
Now, what made them think this game was going to be a success? Like, you look at this game, and one of the things I pointed out in our video where we like deep dived into it, one of our 3 videos, we deep dove into this game a lot. Like I said, this is the content machine that keeps on giving, Suicide Squad. But I always ask the question, I always go back to the question, and I want you guys to think about this. Whenever you're looking at a game and you're like thinking maybe it's going to be bad, or maybe it's going to be good, or maybe it looks a little shaky or whatever, who are they making the game for? Like, dude, when we saw the Suicide Squad, it's like, okay, the combat from the Arkham series is gone. So they're not making it for the Arkham fans. It's no longer a narrative style, like, you know, deep dive into the Batman lore or anything like that. So they're not making it for the Batman fans. They're not making it for the Arkham fans. The looter shooter mechanics are extremely grindy. And the combat doesn't even really change depending on the items you get. Like, Captain Boomerang uses a gun. So even, like, you know, good looter shooter fans, people that actually enjoy looter shooters, they're not enjoying it. Who is this game made for? And I think, like, WB, even though we've been asking this question, and maybe I'm just super smart, but I don't think I'm super smart. I'm asking basic fucking questions. It's weird that no one at WarnerBros, no one at the game dev side of WarnerBros decided to ask, who are we making this game for? I think it's always important to have your audience in mind, and it looks like they really didn't, because guess what? It didn't fucking sell. Yeah, what a shocker.
It's entirely possible WB Discovery's sales expectations were unrealistically high since it found massive success last year with Hogwarts Legacy, which managed to be the #1 bestseller.
And don't worry, this dovetails into our discussion, because you're going to see... So WB looked at the success of this game, Hogwarts Legacy, and we're going to see what lessons they took from it. There is announcements of the lessons they took from it, and let me tell you, they took the wrong lessons. Spoiler alert. We're gonna talk about that in just a couple of minutes. And Dry Cement, welcome, buddy. Hope you're having a great night. Everyone join the giveaway.
Game of 2023 period, which is pretty impressive considering how stacked last year was. Still, Suicide Squad being a flop doesn't come as a huge surprise considering the game's waning player count on Steam. It peaked...
Ooh, let's see. Steam player count Suicide Squad. Let's see what it is right now. Oh my god. I love how it says gain and then minus 1,667. Average players over the last 30 days, 1,000. Holy crap. Oh, man. Ooh. It was down to 370 players just 20 minutes ago. Dude, no one is playing this game. The absolute peak was 13,000. 13,000. And now compare it to... So I'm going to compare it to a very specific game on purpose because this is also a games of service game. You compare it to a game that does games of service, knowing its audience and treating their audience with respect. Helldivers 2. 458,000 peak. And, you know, it is 6 a.m., so it's, like, very much in the non-peak time. And 24 hours ago, it was at 410,000. Suicide Squad, 1,000. And guess which game is more expensive? Suicide Squad is still a $70 game. Helldivers, you can buy this game for $30. They throw the premium currency at you. You feel like you're actually enjoying, you're not locked behind a paywall for pretty much almost anything. And anything that you are, locked behind a paywall for, you can, after only 15 hours of playing this game, Helldivers 2, I am literally 8/10 the way through to completely free unlocking the premium battle pass just by playing the game. Suicide Squad, $70. Massive amounts of microtransactions. It's just not even close. It's just not even close. Oh man, it couldn't happen to a better company, guys.
13,459 players at launch, and 3 weeks later, the peak concurrence of the last 24 hours is just shy of 900. Rocksteady has more content in the works, including a playable Joker and the possible return of Batman, but it's dubious if that'll be enough to...
No one wants to play as the Joker in this shit-ass game. No one even enjoyed playing as Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn is supposed to be hot. Why would you want to play as the Joker in this shit-ass game? This is not going to... This reminds me of, when they released, Hawkeye and Black Panther in the Marvel's Avengers shit-ass microtransaction-laden games-as-a-service Avengers game. And I liked that game. But that game had a really good and at least respectful single-player storyline. For 20, 30 hours, that game was, good. And then you hit the end game, you hit the looter-shooter mechanics, and then the Marvel's Avengers went downhill. But like I said, I imagine a world where Marvel's Avengers released at a $40 price point, or maybe even a $70. But, they focused on just a single player. They didn't have any of the microtransaction bullshit. They didn't have any of the games as a service bullshit. And it was just the single player campaign. You can play with friends, sure. Add that. That's fine. I like playing co-op with friends. That's great. And you have maybe 1 or 2 levels to, dick around in after the game is done if you want to. But you focus pretty much on the single player campaign. You focus on $20, $30 DLCs, which actually add chunks of content and everything like that. And that's it. And it's a game. It's one and done. It releases well. You spend less dev time and dev money because you don't have to make all the microtransactions, games as a service bullshit. But you are also just, making your money, making good profit, and leaving it at that. That game could have been a success. This game, Suicide Squad, didn't even have that. The single-player campaign is apparently, infinitely worse in every single way. We've already covered the storyline of this game, treating every single character we love in the DC universe with absolute just shit. Just just absolute, crap content, character assassinations up the wazoo, and everything in between. Oh my god, man. It's not even close. It's not even close, man. Suicide Squad makes the Avengers, the Sony Marvel Avengers flop, look good.
Track players. Shifting gears to a game that has the exact opposite problem,
here we go.
Helldivers 2 has been a hit on PS5 and PC despite its...
I already talked about this, but we might as well hear him out and at least get the numbers for Helldivers 2.
Struggling to meet demand. Well, good news for anybody hoping to squad up this weekend because the latest patch will raise the server cap to 700,000 players. In a tweet...
Helldivers 2's biggest problem is suffering from success, man. Too many people want to play the game. Too many people want to spend money on this game because it respects your time. It's absolutely crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. And yeah, dude, the numbers have dropped by almost 90% for Suicide Squad in just under 1 month. It's not even close. Warner Bros. Is going to lose their ass on this game, and they deserve every second. Now, we can close this because the next thing I want to talk about here was Warner Brothers' lessons that they've gotten from this and from like we'd seen yesterday or just now, Hogwarts Legacy's large selling numbers, because Hogwarts Legacy was a giant selling game, 22 million copies. Even in a year of games like Baldur's Gate 3, even in a year of games like Alan Wake 2, Marvel, Spider-Man, so on and so forth, for several reasons, like it was multi-platform and everything like that. But the total selling numbers for Hogwarts Legacy was 22 million copies. This game sold more than any other game, even in a year of absolute bangers. So this is a Warner Bros. Game. And so we'll see. During, let's read this. What lessons did Warner Brothers learn from the release of Hogwarts Legacy? Let me tell you guys, it's not going to be pretty. I know this because I've not read this yet, but I know Warner Brothers. I know game companies like this. I know exactly the kind of lessons that they're going to get from this, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be right. Let's see if I'm right. During a recent Morgan Stanley speaking event, Warner Brothers Discovery gaming boss J.B. Perrette discovered some of the company's strategy for gaming going forward, and it includes more live service, mobile, and free-to-play games. Guys, I told you it didn't look pretty. I never will blow smoke up your ass. It's not pretty. They decided that, you know what we need? We need less single player. We need more live service. We need more mobile. We need more free-to-play looter shooter microtransaction games as a service games. Oh my god. He said, we're doubling down on games as an area where we think there's a lot more growth opportunity that we can tap into with an IP that we have. And some of the capabilities we have on the studio where we are uniquely positioned both as a publisher and developer of the game. Perrette said WBD's recent gaming output is focused on AAA games for console, and that's great when a game like Hogwarts Legacy sells 22 million copies, but this kind of success is never guaranteed in what Perrette said was a volatile market. He pointed out that WB's latest big game, Suicide Squad, was a disappointment for the company. So if you see that Suicide Squad is a disappointment for the company, and you see that Hogwarts Legacy is a huge success for the company, why the fuck do you think that you should go to more free-to-play mobile live service bullshit games? What in this is telling you that this is the lesson? Like, I have no idea what they're talking about. Like, okay, spoiler alert. I don't know who told them that while, you know, AAA games are, you know, very volatile and you don't know if it's going to be a success, and that instead we should make a AAA live service game, which is even less guaranteed to be a success. More of them shut down, and they cost more money than a single-player game. These straight up cost more money to make a live service game than it costs to make a game like Hogwarts Legacy. It's more expensive. How are you getting this lesson? WB is like burning money on purpose. I swear to God. Are they fucking idiotic? Okay, so the plan going forward, he said, let's hear it out. Maybe there's a nugget of genius here. Let's see. I doubt it, but let's give Perrette some chances, guys. Let's see how it goes. So the plan going forward, he said, is to help reduce volatility, to help by focusing on core franchises and bringing in at least some of them to the mobile and free-to-play space, as well as continuing to invest in live service games that people play and spend money on over a long period of time. This will help WB generate more consistent revenue, he said, going on to tease that WB had some new mobile free-to-play games coming this year. Also worth noting is that just because WB may push into new spaces does not necessarily mean it'll stop making big single-player AAA games. Let me tell you, what he's saying means that that's exactly, they're going to be focusing on much less single-player AAA games. How many single-player AAA games have they released? WB Gaming single player releases, because I think if we look at this, the only really big one is Hogwarts Legacy. Like, I don't think there have been that many huge releases AAA wise from them. I guess 10 years ago, Arkham Origins, yeah, they used to make like some of those interesting games back then, and they no longer do that. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Unironic W. I have to call it a W, guys. Mortal Kombat 1 is a WB. I did not realize that. That is my mistake. I did not realize that. That is fair. Gotham Knights, this was a dismal failure. So they already saw that Gotham Knights was a failure. They saw that Hogwarts Legacy was a success. They saw that Suicide Squad was a massive failure, and they decided that we need more of this shit. Like, dude, they had to shut down Multiverses to try to re-release it later on because the numbers dwindled so fast in this games as a service, microtransaction laden game. And I actually unironically like Multiverses. It's Smash Bros, but with WB characters, as in you can play as Shaggy and everything like that. Back for Blood. Wait, Back for Blood was WB? Dude, I actually love Back for Blood. I thought Back for Blood was, in my opinion, better than Left 4 Dead in many, many ways. Like, I really liked what the style of games and stuff that they did in this game. But this game had to shut down. This game is dead. Like, it's gone. It's bupkis. You can't even log on to the game anymore. And I love Back for Blood. I played like 400 hours of it. It's legitimately dead. So this is another live service game that's dead. Harry Potter Wizards Unite. This was Pokemon Go, but for Harry Potter. I actually really liked this game. I played it a lot. Like, this was like one of my favorite COVID games. And then, like, it died as well. It's published by Niantic, who also did Pokemon Go. And that game is gone. So that's another live service mobile game that's dead. We got single players, Hitman 2, Absolution, Blood Money, Lego Movie Game. All of these did well. The Lego Movie games sell really well. They make a good profit. We could look at the profits. It'd be hard to look up all the profits for these games, but I know for a fact, and you can feel free to fact check me on this, guys. That for example, let's open this one. Lego Harry Potter. Is there numbers for sales? Looks like there's no real sales numbers on the wiki. That's unfortunate. I would like to see the sales numbers. Sales numbers for Harry Potter Lego games. Bam. Okay, yeah, video game sales wiki. There we go. The Lego series says sold over 100 million copies. That's all combined. So that is like all of the Lego games. But that's a lot of sales, guys. How much do you think how much do you think it takes to make a Lego game? The Lego games are not very high graphical fidelity, and they pump them out and reuse assets all the time in those. Okay. Lego games profit. No. Lego video games. Yeah, here you go. Oh my God. Holy shit. Okay. $2 billion in revenue. It doesn't say the profit on here. Let me see if I can control F and find profit. Nope. And these are like old numbers, guys, by the way. These are like old numbers. So we can't really find the profit numbers, but if they keep making the games, it's because they make a profit. One might say, past is precedence, guys, that all of these games, these single-player games, it's basically guaranteed profit. One might say that all their live service games, all of their mobile games so far, have died and have not made a profit. So why the fuck are they saying that they want to dive more into these games and less into single-player games? I don't know who is running their business, but whoever is running their video game business, like the higher-ups of the company, the devs are trying their best, frankly. I don't really put the blame on the devs at all. And in fact, the devs are usually the ones hurt by all these like failing the sales numbers and everything like that. It actually, hurts my heart. I think the active Lego Star Wars still has an active speedrunning community that will even keep it alive for longer. Yeah, exactly. Mobile market is huge in countries like India and Brazil that have access to massive populations with only mobile access. That is true, Taikato. But the thing is that if it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. If these games are shutting down, like even games that I think are high quality, like the Harry Potter Pokemon Go style game, it's just not making money. They have to keep shutting them down. And we went through the list. There's like every single mobile game on the list that I could find has been shut down. Every single live service game has either had to re-release or been shut down, or is failing in some way and is not dead yet, but is on its way to die, like Suicide Squad. So it's just like, how are they making this conclusion that we need more live service multiplayer microtransaction bullshit games? It's crazy. So they think that, okay, you know what sold, guys? Harry Potter. We need to make more Harry Potter games. But they need to not be single player, even though we've made money on every single player Harry Potter game. And instead, we need a live service microtransaction laden bullshit Harry Potter game. And it's going to sell well. It's not. It's really just not. Like, maybe they'll make a banger, guys. Maybe it'll be like the best Harry Potter online game. It'll fulfill our, like, you know, we're going to have like Hogwarts in the open world. It's going to be like an MMO. We can go to classes together and it'll be like an absolute banger. Chances are very slim though, guys. I'm just going to say chances are incredibly slim. But yeah, let's see. Perry uniquely positioned because it has popular brands. He singled out Mortal Kombat, by the way. Single player game, but multiplayer online. But, you know, it focused on the combat experience, and that was it. And that's why this game was a success. Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, DC is its biggest, as well as 11 different internal game development studios. It also teased that WB has a strategic investment plan to help make future games more successful, adding that the company just recently brought someone on to help with brand management and sustainability. Dude, none of this shit means anything if the game is bad. They're just making bad fucking games. And hilariously enough, it is like all their live service titles that are the bad games. If WB can execute, emphasis should be on can here, by the way. Brett said he expects gaming to bring in meaningful growth to the company in the years to come. But making games takes time. So Brett cautioned that the company is laying the foundation now for returns that will come back in 2025, 2026, and 2027. Brett went on to say that he has no idea how the gaming landscape will evolve over time. Let me tell you, we can give you some really easy ideas. Gaming doesn't change that much, guys. Like, some parts of it change, but a lot of it does not change that much. Oh, we're deep in the tirade right now, Pat. Let me tell you, brother. Insan's welcome. I hope you're enjoying. We love you. We miss you. Hope you're having a great night. But he believes that owning the IP and studios could help W succeed where others could not. WB has already failed like 5 fucking times. They failed with Back 4 Blood. They failed with Suicide Squad. They failed with Gotham Knights. They failed with Harry Potter the mobile game. They're already failing on this account, man. Like, what are you talking about? He also called out things like virtual reality and virtual worlds. Oh no. Oh no, he wants to get into meta, guys. He wants to get into meta. Yeah, they want that easy cash. Yeah, dude, like I said, man, one of my favorite one-liners that I created out of thin air when I made my videos on the Suicide Squad game was they want the Fortnite bucks without making an actual Fortnite level quality game. There's a reason that Fortnite is one of the best-selling games of all time and continues making money hand over fist for Unreal, and the reason is for Epic Games. My bad on that. And it's because Fortnite, even though I'm not a Fortnite player, I still recognize that Fortnite is a good fucking game. They put a lot of effort into that game. They add so many brand partnerships. They make the gameplay so smooth. They have so many random-ass game modes that no matter what you like to play, even me, I actually like the Lego Fortnite building survival thing, man. And that thing was completely free. I didn't even have to buy shit for it. It's a good game. Fortnite is a good game. And so they're trying to get the easy money, the Fortnite bucks, without making a Fortnite level game. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And they will continue losing money hand over fist if they keep thinking like this. Some of WB's upcoming video games include a Harry Potter Quidditch game. It's a good idea. And a Wonder Woman title from the makers of Shadow of Mordor. That actually seems pretty interesting. However, what is the gameplay going to be like for these games? Because if, like, Shadow of War had some pay-to-win mechanics that soured people, like, Shadow of Mordor is the first game. Shadow of Mordor is the second game. I think was it EA? No, I think it was actually WB there. But yeah, the Shadow of War game the Shadow of Mordor game had no microtransactions. It was a single player experience, and straight up, in my opinion, a 10 out of 10 game. It sold extremely well to the point that Shadow of War was greenlit afterwards, right? Shadow of War had a lot of online mechanics, had a lot of microtransactions, and sold less well. Now, there's a lot of parts of that game, like the Nemesis mechanic and everything like that, which is copyrighted by the company that made Shadow of Mordor, by the way, which is why I've never seen that mechanic ever again. It makes me very fucking sad, because that's a cool-ass mechanic. And but that game had some really, really shining parts. But the game overall was less liked than Shadow of Mordor because of the shit. It got flack because of microtransactions in the market, and they had to patch it out. Exactly, Rochelle. Exactly. Almost like the live service mechanics in that game completely fucking failed. So again, I ask WB yet once more, where the fuck are you getting the idea that you need more live service, more microtransactions in your video games? What is telling you this? All of the market indicators are telling you not to do this. Every single market indicator that I know of is telling you not to do this. Profit is telling you not to do this. Cost is telling you not to do this. Amount of IPs failing is telling you not to do this. All of these things are telling you to not do this. And then they're like, nah, man, we want that Fortnite dollars, man. We want it all. We could steal players from Fortnite. Well, okay, make a game as good as Fortnite. No, we don't want to spend that kind of money and effort. All right, well, good fucking luck then. W's approach to gaming is very different than Disney's. Okay, the company years ago developed and published games in-house, but now licenses the franchise to other companies. For example, Disney just paid Epic $1.5 billion to bring... Oh, is that why we have, like, random Disney characters in Fortnite now? Oh, wow, okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that's totally fair. Disney is also working with a variety of companies, including EA, Ubisoft, Zynga, and Quantic Dream on Star Wars games, and has a deal with Microsoft Bethesda for Indiana Jones, The Great Circle, and Blade. And let me tell you, the Indiana Jones game has, at this point, it's a single-player game. The Blade game, so far, looks like a single-player game. Quantic Dream specializes in single-player games. Now, EA and Ubisoft, we know how much issues those games have, so that's a little dicey. But at least they have some single-player games on the horizon here. So, yeah. I don't know what they're fucking thinking. And, dude, since the Harry Potter game came out, everyone has been asking for a DLC that had Quidditch in it, guys. Every single person who enjoyed the game, they're like, man, we really want a Quidditch. we really want a Quidditch minigame in here. And it looks like they at least heard that part, but I really hope they don't make this into like a fucking microtransaction like Hellscape. And I feel like they might. Because it looks like they're really, really pushing for that. And if they take something that players have wanted and make it into absolute shit, I don't think people will ever forgive them. Like, dude, the Harry Potter fandom is psychotic. Those fuckers will never forget. I'm just saying. Dude, they're like worse than Star Wars fans, man, in some ways. Some of them are like absolutely worse than Star Wars fans. Yeah, complete single-player game with campaign co-op would be nice. Exactly. That is all we want, Pat. That is exactly what I'm saying. I don't know if you were here when I was talking about this tirade earlier, but I'll bring it up again. I often think back, Pat, to a world, to a parallel universe where the Marvel's Avengers game released with no microtransactions, or very few microtransactions. You could sell a DLC for costumes or whatever, and it didn't have the looter shooter bullshit mechanics, and it was just the single player game, and we could play it in co-op together, as in the campaign. We could play the campaign together. They flesh out the campaign even more. And they didn't have the crazy endless grind with the looter shooter bullshit mechanics. And they sold it for like, what, $50, $60 at most. And you had paid DLCs with, like the Black Panther DLC and so on and so forth. An extra influx of $20, $30 here and there, depending on the DLCs. Can you imagine that world, Pat? Because I tell you, that game would have succeeded. That game would have cut out all the shit that people didn't like about Avengers, and people would have liked the shit that was actually good about the game. The campaign for Marvel's Avengers was actually good, unlike Suicide Squad. The fighting mechanics, the RPG, the different skills you could get in the Marvel's Avengers games, it was actually fun. They were legitimately interesting. It was good. The bones of the game were so fucking good. And if they polished it up a bit more before release and didn't rush it out, with all of the, game crashes and everything like that, it could have been a banger, man. It could have been a banger. And I think back to that often, Pat. I think back to it often. And it makes me so fucking sad. It really, really does. But yeah. All of the love, guys. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Everyone in the YouTube video, if you guys are enjoying, I hope you click that sub button, that bell button. I try to create gaming content like this all the time, where we talk about games, where we play games, where we talk about the gaming landscape and the changes that companies do and the things that they try to pull, the wool that they try to pull over our eyes, and the successes that various companies do as well. Like we were talking about Helldivers earlier. Games as a service done right is Helldivers 2. And the differences between the two. And I hope to always do it. So if you enjoy this content, click that bell. And also consider joining us live on Twitch, CapCorgi on Twitch. We stream every single night.